what Career Services is doing. So we are helping the students to find a way to the first jobs in the Netherlands, not really finding or providing the jobs, because that's more on the side of recruitment agencies, but we explain how it works, whether you want to try to start your career in the Netherlands or in some other country. We explain some ground rules and also help to mobilize own capacities of the students to find the way to the meaningful jobs. And how we do this, we offer individual consultations, so any students can book time with the Saxion career advisor and explain challenges, whether they're related to finding an internship or a part-time job, or not knowing which job better fits talent of a student. A Saxion career advisor can help to find the answers. We offer workshops which are also related to analysis of personal talents and capacities, or specific processes, for example, how to write a CV, how to manage a LinkedIn page, and so on. We also organize networking events where students can meet industry professionals and pose questions about career prospects and possibilities within a sector which a professional represents. And we offer short programs which allows students not only to visit a workshop once, but to be supported by series of interactions in finding way towards the first job. Example of the last one is our program Into the Dutch, which we run in collaboration with Association of Small and Middle-Sized Businesses of Deventer, where one of our campuses is located, and they are owners of local businesses support students, consult students, mentor students in finding the first jobs in the Netherlands. But we also know from these activities that Dutch workplace culture differs from the culture of other countries, and it is essential to know the ground rules before actually starting to look for a job, or and some of these rules are also applying for the way how people study in the Netherlands, because Saxion is also an organization with a certain etiquette and rules, and dominated by Dutch teachers, although we also have international teachers and researchers. One needs to know also the ground study rules when entering the Dutch study. So with this workshop, I'm going to present you these rules. We do it in a playful form, which I hope you also can benefit from. We do it in a poll. So I will first pose the question, and in a poll, Dionysia will support me. You can react whether it's true or not true. Yeah, so a certain statement about the Dutch workplace culture. So let's try how it works. My first, so that's our quiz. Yeah, true or false. Here we say open your chat of this meeting and vote for an answer. Yeah, but Dionysia, I think we can do it through the poll. Can we add a poll and then with the question? Will it work like this or not? Do you think?
I will post it in the poll, Tatiana. So,
yeah. Okay. Statement 1. So in the Dutch culture, it is acceptable to come 5 minutes later to your class, meeting, or appointment. Yeah, so that's my statement, and I will kindly offer you a chance to tell me if it's true or false. So I see already, Denise, you're kindly providing us with the poll on this question. So just vote. Is it true or false? So it is acceptable to come 5 minutes later for your class, meeting, or appointment. So if you're 5 minutes late, it's not a big deal, and nobody will get hurt or agitated.
I see people are putting the votes in, so it is working. I'm happy to see that.
Oh, it's working. No, it's like technology is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are with 8 attendees. I now see 6 reactions. So 2 people, either they are busy doing something else or they don't know that we don't have such an option. I don't know. So we have a 3 by 3 the division of the opinions.
Okay.
And that's very nice. Actually, the right answer is it's false. Yeah, so Dutch culture is very well known for its punctuality, for valuing punctuality. So it's not okay to be 5 minutes later for your class meeting or an appointment. It will be seen as rude, and also people will immediately make assumptions that you don't take your appointment or class or meeting seriously. Which brings us to one of the characteristics of the Dutch culture: everything is on time. Of course, we are living in imperfect world, and things are they can go wrong. For example, train can be late, or previous appointment can take longer. But then in this case, it's very normal to inform the person you meet or a teacher that you will be late. Yeah, so very often, even numbers of the teachers, cell phone numbers of the teachers, and you can send an app saying, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm late because my train is delayed, or something happened on the way. So it's better than just neglect and throw the door open in the middle of the class and enter. Yeah. So punctuality is what Dutch culture promotes.
Yes, for sure.
Then we go to the next statement, and it is like this. You can always share your opinion with a colleague or a teacher. Yeah. So imagine yourself in a meeting with mostly Dutch colleagues, and you're asked about opinion, and it's normal just to tell what you think, yeah, without actually being over diplomatic or looking at the opinion of other people and adjusting your opinion to fit their thoughts. And the same with the teacher. So if a teacher asks the question, it's not it's normal to react and tell honestly what you think. So what do you think? I see 5 votes, so we wait another couple of seconds.
6
vote.
already. So
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same amount of answers we had before. So let's say 6 voters are engaged. Yes, it is true. Dutch culture is very open. It doesn't mean that all people are easily accessible on the street. Yeah, so it's not that everybody is hugging and shaking hands, but when it comes to a certain setting, like like a class or a meeting, it's very normal to tell sincerely what you think, even if you disagree with the opinion of the group. So through this, Dutch culture achieves the situation where multiple opinions are taken into consideration before making a final decision. Yeah, so it's not what both things going to happen. It's what other employees of an organization also consider, and appreciating this this amount of different opinions, our organization also sometimes avoids certain mistakes, yeah, because one of other party has pointed out on this mistake before, yeah, even perhaps not supporting the most popular opinion. And the same in the class. If the teacher offers a subject for debate, yeah, so it is expected that even though you perhaps don't know much about the subject or doubt if knowledge is right or wrong, there is no right or wrong most of the time, but you can share your opinion and tell what you think. We go to the next statement, and it is like this. If you have an urgent question, you can approach a colleague, your manager, or a teacher after working hours. Yeah, so imagine you're in a work situation and it is after office or working hours and you have something urgent. It's normal to send a message or call to to pose your question. I see five.
It's about 50-50. Yeah.
Yeah, just one person.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
half.
Yeah, it's 3-3 again,
Yeah.
so it's getting also interesting. And it is, of course, a tricky question. But we will first present the most common opinion. No, it is false. Yeah, so it's not common to contact colleagues or teachers after working hours. Let's consider that most of the country, and that includes universities, they run on office hours, so it's like 8:30, 4:30 of 9-5, and afterwards colleagues or teachers, they are not available. Why? Because in Dutch culture, the balance between work and life, and even by the name of this concept, you see that work is not considered as life. So work and life, balance between two things is almost holy. Yeah, so it's very important. And after stopping work with work on a day, people devote time to sport or family or hobbies, and they don't want to do their work in after office hours, and other way around. And if you're at work, you are totally present, you are concentrated on your work, and you don't arrange appointments with hairdresser or dentist in your office hours. So, of course, in some highly commercial sectors like consulting or probably, I don't have any other examples than consulting services or maybe legal services. Yeah, where sometimes cases are of high urgency, it is okay to make long working hours, yeah, and work through the evenings, but it's a situation of a certain company, yeah, so it can be stretched out to the situation of the whole country. So again, what it means to a student: pose your questions during the lectures, yeah, so because afterwards teachers will not be available. If you send an email, it might take time before you get an answer. So everything you didn't understand, everything you doubt about during the workshop or a lecture, make it clear for yourself during the working hours or during the lecture. Okay, then we go to the next slide, and this is about addressing people. So my statement is, you can address your manager or teacher by first name. So if you see your teacher, an elderly, respectful gentleman, you can say, "Hi, Peter, how are you?" And it's fine, and he will not feel strange. So you can address your manager or teacher by first name. It's fine. All right. Here we say 5 people say it's false, and 2 people say it's true. Dionysia, what do you think? What is the right answer?
Well, normally, yes, the Dutch society or the Dutch work culture is arranged in such a way that you can indeed address your manager by its first name. Of course, it depends a bit on the situation. If it's the very first time you meet somebody, you always start out on maybe Mr. or Mrs., and then most probably he or she will immediately say, "Oh, you can call me Dio, you can call me Tatiana." So it is very common to use first names in our culture.
So 2 people actually right.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, so it's most, and what also funny, Dutch language knows a polite form of addressing people. So it's different from English, where both the forms sounds the same. But the Dutch knows u as a polite form and je as common form. Most of the people prefer the second one, so like informal, yeah. And even if a person much older than you and higher in maybe in hierarchy than you, is still he or she or they still prefer yeah, and the first name basis. So we all address our directors on their first name, and if we stop doing it, people will feel strange.
Would feel very awkward.
So of course you can address your person as Mr. Van Dijk, but I think after a couple of times this person will say, "Oh, come on, just tell Peter." So it's and it can be translated to the work context as well. So if in a Dutch company you meet a general director in the corridor, you don't need to bow and say good morning, Mr. Van Dijk. You can just say good morning, Peter, how are you? And probably if the time allows, he will or she, let's say Karen, will have a small talk with you. Okay, next statement. Attention, focus. Dutch lunch break is minimum an hour. So if at school or in at work, lunch break is an hour.
Oh wow, everybody, almost everybody agrees.
Here we have a clear tendency to one answer. I see 6 votes. And everybody says it's false. And Dutch lunch break is normally half an hour. So it's and it's really dedicated to having lunch. So again, I know in some cultures, including mine original culture, which is Russian, yeah, in a lunch break we used to go, to the notary if you need to, or pick up your dry cleaning. In the Netherlands, it's just not common to do it. Most of the lunch breaks are meant for socialization. Yeah, so people socializing, that's the right word. And people are actually having lunch together. Is also an opportunity to maybe to talk about private things, or sometimes work things. Sometimes people complain that things are not going good, yeah, with some processes, or express admiration that new processes are working. So it's really seen as a tool to strengthen personal connections with your co-workers. And the same in the university. So it's not that there is an official lunch break. I don't think so at Saxion. But the lectures are planned at between 12 and 1. Students have time to take lunch. Yeah, so not all at the same time, but most have this break between 12 and 1. And it's also like very quick, you grab a sandwich. So what you see on this picture is not a typical Dutch lunch. It's probably a dinner.
Yeah, it looks like a dinner indeed.
Yeah. And the same in the companies would also recognize that people sometimes eat their lunch at their workplace. So behind the computer, a lot of companies discourage that because, a life work balance. You need to disconnect from work, take a break, refresh your mind. What is also very popular are lunch walks, when people take a sandwich and they go for a walk with a colleague. So then it's healthy, you move, and then you also go outside. And that's why sandwiches are the most popular Dutch lunch food, because you can easily take them with you, even if you go for a walk.
I think not only for lunch, but also for breakfast. In the Netherlands, you can buy a lot of breads and also a lot of things for on your bread. So it is a very popular thing to eat.
Yeah, and of course, when the weather is nice, people just go outside and they sit in the park, if there is a park around, or just outside on the bench, and they eat their lunch outside.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so that's about food, and probably what we can do. And Dionysia, normally we don't do this. We can ask our 6-7 people what Dutch food they know.
Yeah.
So guys, what Dutch food do you know? Dutch cuisine is not as popular as French cuisine, of course, but maybe you know some Dutch food. You're going to use your microphone or react in the chat. We will not introduce any polls. So, guys, what do you think? What Dutch food do you know? Oh, I see. Poppy says stroopwafel.
Very
That's
good.
indeed.
Yeah, indeed.
Any other ideas?
Kaas.
Kaas.
Very good.
Indeed, which is cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe for the people that do not know, stroopwafel is a kind of a cookie. It's a kind of a waffle, and there's kind of a syrup in between.
Yeah.
And it's quite popular in the Netherlands.
Yeah, and you can buy them cold in the supermarkets or warm in a special kiosks where they also made in your presence.
True.
Yeah, so that's indeed. Yeah, stroopwafel, kaas, cheese, of course, and then stamppot. It's another, I think, quite popular internally Dutch dish. It's mashed potatoes with any other vegetables. Can be carrots, can be what can it also
cabbage,
onion.
onion, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's usually served with a sausage, yeah, and jus, which is a French word, but it's a concentrated meat sauce.
It's gravy.
Yeah, gravy. Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. So that's about also a part of Dutch culture, or where food is important. Um, um, so basically, we are done with our little quiz about the Dutch workplace culture, and we have a rounding off question to you guys. Which Dutch workplace culture rule actually surprised you? So you didn't expect it like this, and then it's wow, I never knew it's like this. So can you also react in the chat, or you were right with all your in a quiz, and you knew the rules? That's also possible, but
Yeah.
that's not
So
my question.
no.
So my question is, which Dutch workplace culture rule was surprising for you?
Shall we just give a small recap of the ones we had? It's like the coming late for 5 minutes in class. It is sharing your opinion. It is if you have an urgent question, you can approach your colleague after working hours. You can address your manager or teacher by first name. And the last one, the Dutch lunch break of an hour.
So, are there any rules that you found surprising? You can react in the chat. Also, like sharing your opinion, which is quite common.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Vasilisa saying calling teachers and colleagues by their first name. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and you will if you studying in the Netherlands, you will need a little time to get used to it. Yeah,
True.
so for some it's very difficult. I'm a lecturer myself. Sometimes students approach me as Miss or dear teacher.
Yeah.
So both are possible, but not usual.
Yeah. True.
Um, all right. And for others, any rules that were unexpected? All right. Then we are basically done with this little session. So looking at the time, I see that we have around 10 minutes
Yep.
for questions. So guys, you can also ask us questions about regular studying in just generally
Yeah.
studying at Saxion. Yeah, and I think we're quite a good mix of reference people, because Dionysia represents also has experience also working in international office together with career services.
Yep.
And together with working at career services, I also give classes to the students.
Yep.
So we know study from several perspectives.
Emmanuel, you make a quick and brief recap of what has been discussed?
We can. So
course.
basically, in a nutshell, yeah, the Dutch culture and also the way of studying in the Netherlands
Yeah.
is characterized with punctuality, where things are done on time, and people plan also very much ahead. So in May, you plan already meetings, in June, July,
Oh
and
yeah.
you plan them like this, they will happen like this. Yeah. So if you plan now a meeting for the 3rd of July, it will happen on the 3rd of July at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Dutch culture is very open. Yeah. So it's not so maybe super easy to make friends. It takes time, but as in any other culture. Yeah. But
Yeah.
at work and in the university, people are very open and interested in opinions of each other, and it is actually expected that you open up and share what you think, and when you don't do it, you might consider to be or extremely shy or not interested. Statement, Dutch culture is also very much focused on work-life balance, where people at work are concentrated on their work task, but after work they just close computers and check out, and dedicate the time to hobbies, families, friends, sport activities, volunteer work. So the life in the Netherlands is not rotating around work only. Then we have also Dutch culture is very informal. Hierarchy is very flat. It's normal to address your teacher or colleague or boss, or manager by the first name. Dutch culture is also food is as for any culture is also important part of the Dutch culture, but it's not overwhelming. For example, lunch breaks are only half an hour, where people use them to take a break from work, to socialize with the colleagues, to take a small walk, so to freshen their mind.
Yeah.
I see Emily saying, I'm a curious learning approach, usually hands-on with a lot of group work and projects, or more focused on theory and lectures. I think as a design student, for your education, because you will do it is in EDS, yeah, Emily, of which academia will you, or you are thinking of entering? EDS is a part of my academy, Hospitality Business School, and I know a little bit that they have a lot of group work, but it doesn't mean that exams are group. So exams can be individual, but the way of working is en enschede, so it's something else.
Okay.
So it's a lot of group work, and also a lot of learning by doing. But it doesn't mean that exams are also group. So exams are individual, so you work in a group, but then you will be tested individually. And it also very much align with the new trends in education, where we know that the focus span of people is quite short, so it's like between 15 and 20 minutes. So what teachers are usually doing, they give you theory for 20 minutes, and then there is a task to do. So that you can apply this theory by doing something.
True. So it's a combination, but there's indeed, like Tatjana said, there's quite a lot of focus on group work, on hands-on, doing actual assignments for companies as an assignment in a lecture or for a course.
True.
Emmanuel, is Dutch mandatory for job employment, or it just helps? Well, a very good question. I think it depends a bit on the type of job, but basically in the Netherlands, Dutch is our mother tongue, so it will for sure help. And if you're really thinking about living in the Netherlands for a longer period of time, so not just for 6 months or for a year, then we really ask students, we say it is very important to learn Dutch to really become a part of the Dutch society. So of course you can find jobs in the Netherlands that Dutch is not really mandatory, but it really, really, really helps.
And of course, big cities like The Hague, Amsterdam, and Rotterdam, they are more international. And sometimes in the restaurant, staff doesn't speak Dutch. But other cities, they're Dutch cities in the Netherlands, and your life will be more interesting and full if you dedicate your time to learning Dutch. Yeah, nobody expects you to speak Dutch immediately, but if you little by little start to learn Dutch, you will see how your horizons will broaden.
True.
And for jobs like in McDonald's or in a packing factory, you don't need to speak Dutch. Yeah.
No.
But it's not a type of jobs we want our students to have after graduation.
Yeah, true. So if it's a side job just for a couple of hours and it's in a factory or at McDonald's, of course, you will work with other international colleagues. And then most probably, you're able to just do your job with just English. But like Tatjana said, if you really want to broaden your horizon, Dutch is really, really good to learn.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So, Emmanuel, I don't know if you are disappointed by this, but we don't want to sugarcoat it and say that English is all you need to enrich your stay in the Netherlands. You will come far, but with the Dutch, you will go further.
Yeah, true.
We have, I think, approximately a couple of minutes. I also learned that after this session, you will be forwarded to the page where you can share your opinion, like give evaluation. So we will also appreciate if you do so.
Yep.
Last round of questions: Emily, Emmanuel, Fatih, Regina, Timur, Vasilisa. Any questions you have? Now it's the time to post them. Otherwise, we will close this session.
True.
Thank you very much for your participation, for your also engagement, for answering or reacting to our statements. We are very sure that if you are motivated and interested and open to new things, your study in the Netherlands will be an unforgettable experience.
Oh, yes.
And we hope we will see you maybe through different routes, through career services or through your study programs. So again, have a nice day, and and have fun. Don't forget that all work, no fun makes people sad persons.
True. Well, thanks everybody for joining. And of course, if you have any questions after this session, feel free to reach out to Saxion. You received an email, I think, with all the information in it. So you should have our contact details in that as well.
Yeah, and if you scroll up the chat up to there is a small message for you we placed there. So read it, and then you probably immediately know what to do. Yeah. Dionysia, how does it work? Does it end automatically?
I to be honest, I don't know. It says time left in this session is 43 seconds, but we also have a button to stop the session. So we can, I think we can just stop the session.
Ja, let's just stop the session. Dio also, dankjewel.
Ja, dankjewel Tatjana.
Ja, en tot de volgende keer.
Bye bye everybody.
Bye everybody.